Hey everyone, I'm playing around with an M4, number 4. It's a boomerang from Guido, from Boomerang 24. It used to be not so good for me. Not a bad boomerang in itself. I messed up some tuning after I tried to fix something. But today I did like one small tune and it reversed it. Now the distance is great. And the height is also decent. The only issue is that it goes into a death spiral. When it tries to stabilize, then it stabilizes. So that's an issue I want to fix later, but first I want to show you the flight. I hope the camera is picking it up. Let's try to stabilize above me. Another throw with the M4. Before I'm going to change the tune. Now death spirals before stabilizing. Slightly more windy than I want it to be. Oh well. It's nice. Like you can see, it is trying to stabilize, but has a bit of trouble. Eventually it will stabilize, but a bit too late in my opinion. I think if I can fix this issue, it will be a great boomerang and will enter my competition kit then. Okay, third throw, just to make sure it is really a tune. It's something I want to do, at least, like the changing the tune. But so far I've given it roughly 10 throws, maybe a bit more, and I'm very confident that it needs a bit of change, because I'm not going to alter my throw. Okay, let's try a decently powerful one this time. Hopefully it will be a great flight. Oh, that was a very high throw, which is significantly nicer, I think, because it's not necessarily. Oh well. The flight looked nicer initially. Well, I think it dropped a bit before trying to stabilize. So it's quite a forgiving boomerang, besides the death spiral. Okay, small update. Instead of tuning directly, I tried to first do some lead. A bit of lead tape. I first tried it below and above. I feel like it doesn't help with the stabilizing, and it drops slightly quicker. So, well, was worth trying, but it's not the fix. I can show you. Not going for any power at all, just a relaxed stroke. The flight is still looking quite decent though. Just the stabilizing is an issue. I feel like this adjustment exaggerates the stabilizing issue. Okay, small update. I added some positive, well, I increased the positive angle of attack on one of the wings. I'm just tuning one wing because I think that will do the job. Judging by it, I'm not sure if it's visible. Well, I think it's quite a substantial amount of it. bit too much. I don't like the flight now, it doesn't go very far, and I want this triblader to go a bit further in front. Nonetheless, I think I just threw it once, but it seemed like the stabilizing issue was gone. But other issues were introduced, so I'll try to show you. It might be harder to show given that it's given that it's a quicker flight. Alright. Like here. I'm not sure if you saw that, but it already dropped before reaching the maximum height. However, look, it is stabilizing. So this is not a bad flight. Can be better. So what I'm going to do is reduce this angle of attack which I introduced earlier. And hopefully find a bit of a balance in between. Another update. So I reduced a bit of that angle of attack which I introduced earlier. I think in the meantime I accidentally twisted the wing a bit too much somewhere else. Because the result was that it lay down too quickly. So it would crash, given you would add a bit of power to the throw. So that was not good. So what I did was I reduced a bit of the, I reduced the dihedral on one of the wings a bit. That seems to help. I've only given it one throw, so maybe just a lucky throw. But the result was that the distance was slightly less than we are used to. But it stabilized. But after stabilization it went to a depth spiral, so that should be easy to fix. So that's another issue. So instead of a stabilization issue, this is a depth spiral issue now. Let's try to show you. There's a bit of wind. I'm not taking the wind too much into account. Soft throw. I think I need to reduce a bit of the dihedral still, because I felt like it was laying down a bit too quickly for me. Again, it is going into a stabilization. Let's see if it might be okay. Let's give it one other shot. Let's add a bit more power to see how it behaves. No crazy stuff today. Yeah, it definitely lays down too quickly for me. So let's reduce that. Let's reduce it slightly, and because of that it enters the death spiral, I think. So I'm going to reduce that. Oh, this is a clear death spiral, isn't it? This will be a crash. Alright, I think this might be the last tune for today. It's getting slightly more windy. But I think that Boomerang, I threw it twice. It seemed to fly well. What I did was I reduced a bit of the dihedral, as I told you. And I think in the meantime I might have introduced a slight amount of extra positive angle of attack. But the distance seems quite okay. I'm quite pleased with that. Let's give it a soft throw first. If the wind allows. Yeah, the wind allows. So soft throw first. Then let's increase the power a bit. Not going too much power today because this is more of a rest day for me. So that's why I'm tuning an MTA. Smells a bit burnt as well. Might have overdone the tuning. Alright. Soft throw. Ooh, that's lovely. That's great. Height is slightly less than when we initially started. But look, it seems to be able to stabilize. Like it says that the tendency of the death spiral is still a bit. But I think this is an acceptable amount. I think that's okay to keep. Alright. A bit too windy. I'm not a big favorite of throwing MTA in wind, especially when the tune is so decent. Oh well. You have to enjoy it, right? So let's just do that. Alright. Let's increase power. Decent flight. It's a big test to see if there's a death spiral tendency. If it doesn't, I'll keep it. Otherwise I'm going to keep on tuning. Woo! That's nice. I'm not complaining about that. Let's hope it doesn't death spiral. It's still not stabilizing the way I want to, but if we look back at what it initially did, I think this is an improvement. So a couple lessons learned. So that's nice. Okay, I think I should be able to push it just a little bit more, holding the camera now, because I want to show the initial stage of the flight. Hopefully I can. Well, let's give it a shot. So no full power because the camera is a bit awkward to hold. But MTA is MTA. Ooh, a bit lower throw. This is really forgiving. Let's try a higher throw next time. I think it drops quite quickly. I'm not really happy with that. But it seems reliable. I think you can say something about that as well. Woo! Alright. That was not bad, also not really good. I think this is also a bit of the limit of this boomerang. Oh well. Okay, so now slightly high throw. Let's hope it stabilizes slightly higher. Because this low throw was decent, but I think we can get more out of it. Alright. That was a higher throw. And I think it has a tendency to stabilize slightly higher too because of it. A bit doubtful about that actually. Yeah. Where is it? This will not fly in the thermal quickly, I think. It's not the best. Oh well. I have the tendency to slightly reduce the dihedral a bit more, because I want a bit more distance out of it. Well, I think for today this has been enough of it. So give it one last throw to enjoy it. Slightly too much layover from my side. I think I can enjoy this. This is nice on the local field. Lower risk of losing it. Nice to get the shoulder going. It's more like a trick catch at this point. Alright, I've already said it will be my last throw, but that's always what I say with trying boomerangs. Just one more throw. I think I want to do a high power throw. The wind is also decent, not the best, it's a bit fluctuating, so I don't like that on the local field. Let's give it a shot. I moved slightly on the field, just a little bit, so I have a bit more space in case the MTA tries to fly away, which I don't hope happens. Okay. not bad. Yeah, I want more distance out of it. I think it stabilizes above me, which is great. However, I'd rather have it stabilize in front of me. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Woo. Yeah, not sure. It's nice. Maybe I can keep it just for a beginner or something who wants to try MTA with me. Might be nice, or just a beginner trick catch. Because everywhere I throw with quite a bit of spin. So with lower spin it might be nice for that. Let's move a bit on the field so I can throw more to the right. I think I have a better stabilization then. Okay, one more throw. So that's about it. So I'm going to throw this side instead. So I kind of want the wind to push it up a bit when it tries to rotate in the air. Also maybe it wants to, like just before it reaches the maximum height. Okay, that was not a bad throw. Quite decent height. But it just drops a bit quickly. It's not ideal, is it? I think maybe even a higher throw might be worth trying. Let's just try a bit of a different throw. So one last throw again. It's always like this. I think maybe even more to the right and just try a very high throw. Because what I notice now, it goes straight, which is good. Then it makes like a bit of a circle and then it tries to stabilize. I think if I can get it up slightly higher, it might do that a bit quicker instead of having a very big round up. Alright. Well, just suspicions. Maybe I'm just talking shit, you never know. More to the right, slightly higher. Oh. Okay, it was a higher throw, slightly more off the wind. And I think it stabilizes a bit higher. But again, it drops quite quickly. Thinking about reducing the heat to a slight amount more negative angle of attack. I want to try very high throws, a bit risky. Let's give it a shot. Ooh, that's cool. That's even higher stabilization. Ooh, that's nice. Da 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 da. Again, quick drop. It's quite a reliable flight. Da 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 da. So far I think a very high throw is good, but then lower throws also work, so that's a good sign. I think I want to try it even higher and maybe even more to the right. To the right of the wind. This time I'm going to throw in this direction. Hopefully I don't fuck it up, because then I lose the MTA. Very high throw. Okay, that was too high because I had a slight negative angle of layover. So slightly lower. Oh, I think it's quite. I'm not sure. Oh, triblader is not my first choice anyway. That's not bad, is it? like a trick catch.